All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in today's video. It's sickening how the Bucs don't get more attention. That is from Rondé Barber yesterday. Completely agree. And Tampa's 3-1, and you play football tomorrow on the road against the Atlanta Falcons. Definitely going Tampa. I think the better team usually wins on Thursday, or usually the better quarterback. Baker is playing at an MVP level. I don't see Atlanta winning on a short week, especially with Kirk. Bajan's a little bit banged up as well. Tampa's 3-1. This is a top 10 team in the National Football League. It's not even close. Sunday was the second time in this calendar year that Baker Mayfield just absolutely tore apart the Philadelphia Eagles defense. 337 yards and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions in the NFC wildcard game of the playoffs this past January. And then on Sunday, a couple of days ago, he was actually even better. He went 30 for 47, 347 yards, 3 scores. 2 of those were through the air and another on the ground. And, it's crazy. We talked about this on Monday's video. The narrative the whole week has been why Philadelphia sucks, why Nick Sirianni should be on the hot seat, why Jalen Hurts is not the quarterback we think he is, why Vic Fangio hasn't fixed this defense, everything, why they miss, blah, 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 right? Or they're banged up, blah, blah, blah. It's crazy. The lack of respect this Buccaneers team really gets on a week-to-week basis. We're about to learn a lot about this Tampa team, but before we get into it, if you guys enjoy it, hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily Bucs and NFL content. Try and get this video to 100 likes, folks. That would mean the absolute world to me. Keep in mind, posting this on Let's Talk Bucs. I got a Bucs channel that you guys are seeing this on, and also a main channel on Will Upton. Sorry for the confusion there. We're about to learn a lot about Tampa. Tomorrow's game in Atlanta is huge, in my opinion, because the week after that, you got the Saints. Then you come home for Baltimore Monday Night Football that I'm desperately trying to go to. And then you stay home, you play Atlanta for the second time. Then you hit the road Monday night in early November for Kansas City. And then you come back home for San Francisco, and then you got your bye week. Even like a 3-3 split would be great. 6-4 heading into the final half of the season. But I think Tampa, honestly, is going to do one better, and it starts with tonight's game. But anyways, let's get into some hype here. Baker Mayfield, MVP case. I feel like we say this every week so far, and then obviously they had that kind of dud last week against the Denver Broncos. I also think, like you maybe saw, actually you probably didn't because it was a boring game, Broncos-Jets squared down this past Sunday. And Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets, they couldn't run for Jack. They couldn't throw for Jack. And Bo Nix, didn't he have like negative yardage at halftime? That Denver Broncos defense is legit, but obviously a dud from Baker Mayfield and Tampa Bay a little over a week ago. Second in the league with 8 passing touchdowns. He also ranks 4th in passing yardage, just a tick under 1,000. He is 4th in quarterback rating at 106.9. But obviously, most importantly, Tampa's 3-1, and they're sitting atop of the NFC South. Now, I do like what the Saints are doing. The Panthers are much better with Andy Dalton, a more solidified quarterback under center. Atlanta, you just never really know. It seems like they just can't win in these end-of-game situations, these crunch time situations. Tampa, to me, even if Atlanta was a little bit better, Tampa's still the dog. They've won as many divisional titles in recent history for a reason. Baker Mayfield paired up with Liam Cohn. It's an absolute masterpiece. He's putting on a clinic. He's a literal MVP candidate, and Tampa Bay's right now not only one of the best teams in the NFL, but especially the NFC. One thing I loved this past weekend was the run game production. Both Bucky Irving and Rachaad White both had 49 rushing yards on 10 carries apiece. Also, Bucky Irving had a touchdown. He's currently the league's leading rusher. He's currently Tampa Bay's leading rusher with 203 yards. His 5.8 yards per carry ranks 7th in the entire National Football League amongst running backs with at least 20 carries. And folks, Rachaad White finally getting it going. Just as a team, 25 carries, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns, averaging 4.4 yards per carry. That's been the key cog missing, whether it was last year, whether it was the Tom Brady years, or it was the start of this year. Just no consistent, reliable running game. And I love what I'm seeing from Liam Cohn, just kind of, not staggering necessarily, but like taking advantage of the skill set that both of these two kids have, because Rachaad White's a phenomenal pass catcher. You see it every single week. We saw it on Sunday against Philly, 2 catches, 35 yards. But Mike Evans, 8 catches, 94 yards and a touchdown. He's back. Chris Godwin, the most underrated, underappreciated wide receiver in the National Football League, 6 catches, 69 yards. Cade Otton's had a couple of nice weeks together. Sterling Shepard just got promoted to the active roster. He's coming off a 3-catch, 51-yard game because Trey Palmer's got a concussion, and there's just some injuries at the wide receiver room. And, obviously J-Mac missed this past Sunday. Defensively, just banged up. Kalijah Cansey, Antoine Winfield, but you have Servancier Dennis now on the IR. Tampa's deep. It's early, sorry. Oh my God, third time's a charm. Tampa Bay's defense has a bunch of dogs. For example, on Sunday against Philadelphia, 2 takeaways, 6 sacks against the Eagles. 34-year-old Lavonte David's a great example of just the dogs they have on the defensive side. Once again, they got a banged up defense. All right. I know every other team in the NFL is banged up, but so is Tampa Bay as well. 34 years old, Lavonte David. Nobody can stop this guy. He was great against Philly on Sunday. He finished with 2 sacks, 8 total tackles. He was targeted in coverage 7 times. He only allowed 26 total yards in coverage, and he also had 3 stops and a forced incompletion. Lavonte David, at 34 years old, is still one of the best in the business here. And that's just a great example of, him and Antoine and Kalijah, Vita Vea. Obviously, everyone knows Vita Vea, anticipating a huge game-wrecking game tomorrow night against Atlanta. But this defense has so many dogs, and people were concerned about the secondary more so. I think Jordan Whitehead, new addition, underrated as they come. I also think guys like, Izzy and Zion McCollum, these are dogs, man. They got a young, hungry, cheap, athletic, physical secondary here. And Tampa's defense is underrated. The whole team is just underrated. So they're well coached. I guess people just want to see a longer sample size. And like I said, tomorrow night's a big game because, first off, it's a divisional game. And you want to win divisional games because, once we fast forward towards the end of the season, all these top breakers matter. And obviously, if you win the division of the NFC South, you got another home playoff game this upcoming season. But just with Kirk Cousins coming off a torn Achilles from last season, Bijan Robinson's banged up right now. I just think this upcoming Thursday, Tampa Bay could be 4-1 with a road matchup on the way. Long 10 days of rest for the Saints, and then the Ravens and the Falcons again, the Chiefs, the 49ers. If Tampa Bay can go 4-2, folks, are 7-3 with 7 games left in the season. So I feel really good because I feel like this team, not including that Denver loss, you're going to have duds every season. I just feel like Tampa is really starting to click offensively, that they can hang in there with every team in the National Football League. So that's it for today. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL and Bucs content. Guys, give me an early score prediction for tomorrow night's game against Atlanta. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you soon. Peace.